Morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's a little late today. Got off work a little late, so here I am, the one that you love, asking for another hour, but I can't do it. So anyway, I hope you're having a lovely morning. Since I am late, I decided that I would just, there's so much stuff that I can go through on Twitter every single day that today I thought I would just explore Twitter a little bit. We'll do it live. We'll just go on here and see what's here because, you know, there's a lot of news and you always see different things popping up. There's things that popped up this morning and I'm like, somebody doesn't like a certain study or somebody, every time something ends up in the one happening section of Twitter or the Twitter trends, it's kind of always in a reaction to something somebody says. You get the fake fact checks and different things like that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have some fun. Just kind of browsing through Twitter and even though you may not like Twitter and whatever, but there's always just little gems hidden everywhere, little news stories, and we can see what's happening in the world. You can learn a lot about what's happening in the world by just looking at this hellscape known as Twitter. So that's what we'll do today. That's the intro to the intro. So here's the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And welcome back to the PDawgKnight Channel. It is Tuesday, the 1st of February. Happy Black History Month to all the brothers and sisters out there celebrating Black History Month because, you know, we are, of course, we get the shortest month, but that's neither here nor there. I think Black history in the United States is American history, and you know, all these special months for everybody. You know, it's silly, but it is what it is. It's something that somebody thought of 30, 40 years ago and thought that was a good idea. And you know, honestly, you learn about some things you didn't learn about just on the normal in school. But a lot of people use this also to make this grievance grifting month. And so being a person of color, of the African American, Black, or whatever hell you want to call us, or whatever the brothers call us, I will participate in saying that you sponsor this show on Black History Month, because you know I must be your favorite Black person. At least I think I am. I don't know. Not that that's important to me. Okay, so like I said, today we're going to kind of be browsing through Twitter, but the biggest news of the day that I saw referencing Twitter was not on Twitter. It was on Getter. So I'm going to start with that story today, and then we'll kind of just go through what's happening in the world, and like I normally do, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Like most people here tend to at least tolerate it. So that's where we're going. Let me make sure I got, yes, I do have the do not disturb my phone so I don't get a bunch of extra noises. Let's start with saying good morning to everybody, as my mouse is not working as usual. Gosh darn it. Like I said, I need a new mouse. First in the chat today. First in the chat was our friend Advocate Diablo, who gets the bell. Oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? Hopefully, let's try that again. I don't know how, I don't even turn that down. I don't know how that happens. Here's your bell. There you go. Okay, that time it worked. And the audience is a little more enthusiastic for that. So there you go. Also, good morning to Tyre Alexander, Mike Savage, Blurg, also Jesse Leon, what's happening? Selective Boys in the house. Yeah, also, good morning, Somnambule Nation. Also, Aaron Meredith. Tall Person's here. Nice to see you. Renee Mayette, hello. Let's see. As I scroll down, Maddie's in the house. It's nice to have you here, as often you are. Plague Dr. Zach, you change your name about every other day. Zach Osborne, good to see you. Also, let's see. Scotty Dubs is here. Nice to have you back. It's been a little while. And also, good morning to Kay Shull, Attack Alpaca, James Colley, who always has to throw in a boomer comment. I hear you. Okay. Whatever. You and I are kindred spirits. It's all good. Also, good morning to, and Truckin' Bear, another trucker. I don't know. Most of the truckers who watch this show are truckers in the United States. But I always wonder if, you know, this thing going on in Canada is going to leak into the U.S. too, because, well, who knows? Who knows? I don't even know how to go there. There's so much. The truckers are getting a bad rap from the media and from the Prime Minister yesterday, who gave them some decided words. But hey, there is, on that front though, I'm sure you all heard the news that now the Prime Minister of Canada has the coof. So he's demanding people take the vacation, get a little jab of Fauci juice and boost it and all that stuff. And now he says he has tested positive for the stupid. I wonder, because he said his kid tested positive for COVID, and then he was in quarantine, just very conveniently during the truck convoy 22 for Freedom Convoy. And then he says, well, now he has stupid 19. So I'm curious, the other part about that whole thing. So he is still, doesn't want to budge on this. And, hi, Duck Dog. He doesn't want to budge on this. And yet he's saying that 90% of Canadians have taken the jab. Now, that's a significant amount So I'm not sure why he feels it's so important. If the jab protects you from the stupid 19, which apparently it doesn't since he has it. I know that he's been jabbed and boosted, unless he lied about it. But which, you know, he's a politician. Politicians tend to do that sometimes. I just wonder if you have 90% of your population jabbed and juiced, what does it matter if a few truckers decide they don't want to? Because all those truckers out there that are protesting, this is not an anti-vacation protest. It is not an anti-vacation protest, although the media and everyone else seems to keep calling it that. But it's not an anti-vacation protest. It's an anti-mandate protest, saying that people should be allowed to make their choices. The people who don't want to do this, they should still be able to live and work and breathe and do whatever. Because in theory, all those people that have been jabbed should be protected in theory, even though, you know, they can still spread it, they can still catch it, they can still do all that stuff. So I guess I don't know, but I just don't understand. We know in the country that has the highest rate of vacation, right? The highest rate of vacation, Israel, still having a wave of stupid 19 cases. So I don't know. It's almost like, well, does it matter? Well, people want to protect themselves and want to have a chance of having lesser symptoms than the Omicron already does, which is technically pretty mild. Why not? Why do you worry about people who don't take it? But who knows? Anyway, quickly, good morning, Lord Stanhope. How you doing? And I think I said Duck Dog already, but I'll say it twice just to be safe. Good morning, everybody. By the way, if you enjoy what we do here at the Morning Night Live, you're here, so if you're here this early, you probably enjoy it. But invite a friend. Bring a friend with you next time. And maybe they'll bring a friend, and they'll bring a friend, and so on and so on. But I'm happy that you're here. Share the stream. Hit the like button. 5 likes, 19 people here, or 20, or it keeps going. My meter keeps going back and forth. I don't know. And then also, if you want to sponsor the show, it is Black History Month. So for Black History Month, this would be a good week. This would be a good time to sponsor the show. Should I just milk the hell out of that? It is Black History Month. Sponsor the brother doing the show. All right. So let me give you the biggest news of the day first, because I'm fascinated. And this is, now this I found on Getter, not on Twitter, even though I said I'm doing kind of a Twitter Tuesday thing. I've been, because I noticed that when I make up these days of the week for things that happen, I realized that I'm not very good at alliteration. So I had FTG Thursday, right? Now, Open Mic Friday, not necessarily needing alliteration, and I don't really do I have anything for Wednesdays other than it's hump day? I don't really have anything for Wednesdays. I have, FTG Thursdays, Metal Monday. Okay, that's alliteration. Metal Monday, that's alliteration. So maybe I should just, because one of the other things I noticed that I've been using Twitter too much as a source too. So maybe I can just relegate Twitter to Tuesdays. So Tuesdays can be Twitter Tuesday. I got Metal Monday. Wednesday, I really don't have anything yet, but if you got a suggestion, I might consider it. FTG Thursdays, and then often Open Mic or guest show Fridays. So we're bringing back I used to do Woke Wednesday. It's almost like every day is a woke day though, because I talk a lot about stupid shit like that. But maybe I should go back to having Woke Wednesdays too. So good. Thank you for reminding me of that, Maddie. I appreciate you. So anyway, the biggest news wasn't on Twitter, at least for me. I'm surprised this story wasn't on an AP headline or Reuters or something like that. And it's about the lovely representative from the state of New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who says that she's revealed something very important. This is maybe I'm surprised the media hasn't just gone bonkers over this. She says she's leaving Twitter. She quit Twitter after getting anxiety over negative tweets. Now, let's see. I didn't look to see if the Independent. I guess I haven't seen too many Independent articles. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is one of these things. Hang on. Let me see. All right. Well, I blew that. The joke was going to be, the joke is that she's leaving Twitter because that is an important news story. But it's looking like I might have to, let's see if I can get an archive version of this because apparently that ain't it. Oh, shoot. What'd I do there? Let's see if I can find it because I want to see. She says because she has anxiety from being on Twitter. Oh, here it is. Here it is. For your listening pleasure, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shared on her Instagram account that she was keeping away from Twitter. Not necessarily quitting Twitter, but keeping away from Twitter due to the amount of negativity on the platform. Well, when you're kind of not the brightest bulb in the tree, you might get some negative shit. The New York representative was answering questions on her Instagram stories on Monday when someone asked, "When will you come back to Twitter?" Oh. Ms. Ocasio-Cortez responded by saying she turned off all her devices and wasn't active on social media when she was infected with stupid-19 earlier this month. She said, "I found that when I went to open Twitter up again, it's just like it." Oh, I'm sorry, I did this in the wrong way. I found that when I went to open Twitter again, it was like wasn't making me feel. It was just like wasn't making. What the hell does that mean? So, I mean, literally, I would go to open the app and almost felt like anxious, she said. People kind of fight and gossip and all sorts of stuff so much. And there is a lot of negativity on there, the 32-year-old Congresswoman added. Does she, here we go. There she is on her Instagram. But I'll be back. Don't worry. Just feel like a break. So she didn't quit Twitter. She told her 8.6 million followers on Instagram that she hasn't quit Twitter. The Democrat announced earlier on January 16th that she had contracted stupid-19, has experienced debilitating symptoms, even given the added protection provided by her vacation juice. Well, so it happened. Got COVID, probably Omicron. As of today, I'm thankfully recovered and wrapping up quarantine, but COVID was no joke, she had written. So, look, so it gave her the added protection. She's 32 years old, young, not overweight, pretty much and also, oh, by the way, I think, doesn't Twitter affect men more too? I can't remember, but anyway, but she said it's no joke. Well, it's no joke for everyone else who's had it, and everyone in her age group, vast majority of them survive. I think it's in the 0.00% range there. then you start putting numbers in. So the fact that she had a few days of discomfort and is back and feeling better is not a surprise at all. But boy, I tell you, I bet her fans, when she got that, I bet they thought she wasn't going to make it. But, I'm pretty confident that she can make it sound like the most dramatic experience of her life because, think about what she did with the January 6th thing, right? She was, oh my gosh, she almost died from January 6th. So I'm sure she's pretty much almost died from stupid 19 too. Anyway, since then, her response on her own Twitter account has been sparse and was last seen tweeting her interviews with MSNBC Mehdi Hassan on the 27th of January. So she's been off for a whole 4 days. I wonder how long she's going to be able to just quit Twitter. Let's see. On March 8, 2019, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez tweeted that it was via the Girl Scout that she first practiced how to change brake. What? Wait, what? What does this have to do with anything? Oh, was that her first tweet? What? Why did... Okay, she answered other questions on Monday. I traveled time because Kara was in and out of session every time. Okay, apparently she was having a Q&A, and that was one of the questions. I don't give a shit. I just don't. My gosh. But anyway, that's a story. All right, real quick, a couple more people showed up. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. Good morning, Legit Low Talker. And also good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Nice to see you guys. When are you going to stream on Rumble? I'm working on... I have to figure out this whole restream thing. I mean, I know how to do it already. I already know how to stream on multiple platforms. Part of the problem with Rumble is, at least so far, at least when last time I checked it out, it costs you money to stream on Rumble, and I'm cheap, I guess. There may be a way to do it now that doesn't cost you anything, but you have to sign up for more of a premium platform to do that in any significant way. And I just, I eventually I may do that, but there's not really this has a mild income stream, but it's very slight. And I just want to make sure that I use the money from this stream to just keep this going, pay for the cable, or pay for the internet bill and shit like that. So eventually I will go back to multi-streaming on multi-platforms, but just not right now. All right, real quick, let me get a couple thank yous in, and then we're going to move on. Thank you to Somnambul Nation for tweeting out the show. Also, Maddie, who I am retweeting both of you right now. I appreciate that very much. Also, wait, I don't want to pay for the internet. No, I don't want to play it. So what the hell? Okay. Also, thank you, Ranting Monkey, Zach Osborne, Renee Mayette, and Somnambul Nation for retweeting my tweets. If you want to follow me on most social media, at PDawgKnight, Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler, Cloud Hub, Getter, and did I say Minds? I think I did. And pretty much any other platform. If you want to see if I'm there, just look for at PDawgKnight, and you should be able to find me. Also, if you watch the show on PDawgKnight.live, you can sponsor the show up in your upper right hand corner. The Streamlabs link, or Streamlabs little donation box is up there. You can also sponsor the show through SuperChats. What else do I have down there? Venmo and Cashapp, which are in the description down below. So there you go. My job had to tell people that us purebloods that are wearing face shields are not to be singled out, and that some of us who wear the face shield do so willingly. A fucking lie. So they're making you wear face shield. Oh, that's right. You were TSA, so you have to wear face shield. It's so funny. I laugh about the face shields. If you think that cloth masks, which they say cloth masks, are not an effective way to prevent you from getting the stupid 19, why would a face shield be effective? Maybe because it covers your eyes. Maybe you won't get spittle in your eyes or some shit like that. But really, they do nothing. Just like they say all these places that have put up these, plexiglass shields in front of, cashiers and in front of, reception desks and shit like that, does absolutely nothing for an airborne virus. Did you know that? The virus is not deterred by a piece of plastic. It'll go around the plastic. It'll go everywhere around you. If they say it's an aerosol virus, then you're not protecting yourself. But anyway, Tyler F. and Necrosol Collins, thank you for tweeting out the show. Or you actually retweeted. Who'd you retweet here? Oh, you retweeted Somnambul Nation. Well, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. You don't have to retweet me. You can follow Maddie. You can follow Somnambul Nation. there's who else tweets out the show quite often? I can't remember. But anyway, those two for sure. Follow one of those two, and they will. You can retweet them. All right. So like I said, it's Twitter Tuesday. I kind of want to just go on here and see who's doing what. Now, it was interesting. Earlier, there was on Twitter, you go up on Twitter and you get into this section up on the right-hand corner here called What's Happening, right? Wait, give me 1 second here. I have to mute myself for a second. Still got a little cough. I have a cold still, but I do not have COVID because well, you know what I did. I had a test. I got tested for COVID. I didn't have it. I don't have it. Even though Lady Boomer is coming out of quarantine tomorrow, I have saved myself in quarantine. Oh, Thomas Cleaver's in the house. Good morning, sir. And thank you for the donation through Streamlabs. Thomas Cleaver, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Sponsor of the Day. And Thomas Cleaver's message today, at least so far on this particular sponsorship opportunity, is, quote, kapow, end quote. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You are a gentleman and a scholar. All right. So, oh, good Lord. Oh my God. What are you talking about? Joe, okay, Jeff Holiday's on Twitter right now. And I don't usually pay attention to Jeff Holiday. But I'm trying to figure out what he's saying here. So he's saying, he's making a quote, right? He's making a quote. And he's saying, I am edgy. I am counterculture. I am against the elites. That's why I make reductive arguments defending the most popular podcaster on the planet who parrots political talking points from the largest TV network full of conservative anti-vaxxers. Is he talking about Joe Rogan? And it's really telling that if you criticize Joe for being stupid, shitty, and dangerous, people think you want him canceled. No, I want him to do the right thing. He's not free from criticism. Wow. Now, that's funny. That's funny. Now, Jeff has taken to trying to put himself on apparently what he thinks is the right side of history. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but then someone says, I don't think Joe Rogan has ever marketed or branded himself as a news source. He just talks to people and he doesn't condescend his audience by telling them what or who they should listen to. He lets his listeners make up their own minds. That's great on principle, Jeff says, and I believe that principle. But in action, it's furthering a cult of ignorance that literally kills people. Really, Jeff? Oh my God, I could certainly get into this with Jeff. This is the kind of shit you find on Twitter, though, from certain people. He wants him canceled. Well, he says specifically that he doesn't want him canceled. Yeah, so he does want him canceled. What are the principles without their practical application? I think the ability for individuals to decide for themselves is more important than public safety. You wouldn't feel so confident if you had to watch a family member die from stupid 19. Oh, he's playing victim. Hello, Undead Kaiser. How you doing? And principles are only valuable if they work overall for the collective good. Absolutism is naive. The collective good? Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, Jeff. If it really started to go, I think this pandemic would be the perfect excuse for the USA to implement universal health care if we had competent government. Oh, just the opposite. They've proven this would be a reason not to do universal health care. It really would. Holy shit. Anyway, that's Jeff Holiday for you. I wonder if maybe I'll just keep opening tabs with new Twitter account, Twitter thing. The closest he got to fame was on a Dr. Phil over Jilly Juice, cult type behavior. Yeah. Hello. Oh, good morning to the gayest person on YouTube, by the way. COVID broke so many people. It's just sad. Yeah, it really is. The idea that you are saying, look, so Joe Rogan, the idea, what did he say here? Let's go back to his tweet. Let's go back to his tweet for a second. So I am edgy. I am counterculture. I am against the elites. That's why I make reductive arguments defending the most popular podcaster on the planet, who parrots political talking points from the largest TV network full of conservative anti-vaxxers. Now, is Joe Rogan an anti-vaxxer? That's what I want to first I need to know. And what talking points does he parrot? I'm going to assume that Jeff doesn't watch Joe Rogan at all. I probably not at all. He's really, I'm just saying weird. I didn't know. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to reply to him. I didn't know that you watched Joe Rogan, Jeff. Apparently, you watch him an awful lot to know what kind of talking points he peddles. How often do you listen to Rogan? Have you because I'm just curious. How often do you listen to Rogan, or do you just parrot what other people are saying about him? That's my question. So anyway, I'm sure Jeff won't. If he responds to me, it'll be some shitty bullshit, whatever. Anyway, let's find out what else is going on. Tulsi Gabbard is trending. Let's find out why. Tulsi Gabbard says Biden was wrong to limit Supreme Court pick to just black women. Okay, there's a lot of there's a whole bunch of people talking about this this whole Supreme Court thing. Let's see how the New York Post article treats this. Now, the New York Post is going to treat this differently than a lot of the pundits, and we'll get into some of the replies to that. Tulsi Gabbard says Biden is wrong to limit Supreme Court pick just to black women. Now, believe it or not, I am going to disagree with that statement. He is not wrong limiting the pick to whoever he wants to limit to. What he is wrong in doing is saying it out loud, that you would make that a public criteria for choosing a Supreme Court pick. So if he had, let's say he just didn't open his big fat mouth, right, and nominated someone to the Supreme Court who happened to be a black woman, I wouldn't give a shit. Okay? But the fact that he has gone out and said that his mission in this next Supreme Court pick is to choose a black woman means that he has told the country he is limiting it to a very, very tiny portion of the population demographically, right? And I'm going to say that probably out of it, you're limiting it to such a narrow field of people in that field of judges or lawyers or constitutional scholars or professors. Okay, you have to remember, if that is only 6% of the U.S. population, what percentage of lawyers, judges, and whatnot are black women? Now, like I said, if he had just nominated someone, not a big deal. But the fact that he says, I'm going to break the law, a law that would be, because in a way, the way he's doing it, it's like, isn't he violating the Civil Rights Act in 1964? Isn't that weird that he would say that out loud? So anyway, former Democratic Congresswoman and 2020 presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard lamented President Biden's vow to select the first black woman to the Supreme Court, tweeting Monday that identity politics is destroying our country. Yeah. Biden chose Kamala Harris as his VP because of the color of her skin and sex, not qualification. She's been a disaster, wrote Gabbard, who is part Samoan. Now he promises to choose a Supreme Court nominee on the same criteria. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, if that's his only, he certainly has stated that his pick would have other criteria, but that it will be a black woman. Again, you're narrowing down that field. Pick Diamond from Diamond and Silk. Well, I think he should pick Janice Rogers Brown, but he kind of already said that he'd want her to be that, but that's kind of silly. Gabbard, who represented Hawaii for 8 years in the House of Representatives, endorsed Biden for president after she dropped out of the race in March 2020. Biden confirmed last week that he would pick a black woman to replace the retiring Justice Stephen Breyer, saying it was long overdue. Well, why? Why would it be long? Oh, let me see something. Nope, still not working. Dang. I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, why long overdue? Why? See, in theory, your judges would all do the same job. So why is it overdue to have any demographic in the court other than to make some people feel good, right? Other than to make some people feel good, other than to attempt to appease a certain portion of the population. Look, let's be honest. Black women overwhelmingly vote Democrat and for Joe Biden, right? Because black men don't. Black men are a little more balanced in their choices, but black women overwhelmingly vote for Democrats. Now, so Biden, when he said it was long overdue, he said, I made the commitment during the campaign for president, and I will keep that commitment, he said at the White House. But new polling indicates this is one campaign promise Americans don't want Biden to keep. Nah. Okay. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how they asked the question and how they answered it. An ABC Ipsos survey out Sunday showed that 76% of Americans think the president should consider all possible nominees. Okay, if that's how they ask it, good point. Hey, Kessler, how you doing? Should consider all nominees, while only 23% said that he should follow through on his pledge. Interesting. I'm surprised even that high. The White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was left to defend the selection process Monday, telling reporters that Biden made a promise to the country. No, he didn't make a promise to the country. He didn't make a promise to the country. He made a promise to his voters. That's not the country. Okay. And apparently, if 76% of Americans think he should consider all possible nominees, then some of his voters now also think, that's a little sketchy. Let's see, 70% of the president counts all the time. And he's not only black women, as he pledged on the campaign trail, asked ABC's Mary Bruce, what do you make of this, and why do you think that a majority of Americans want the president to take a different approach? Here's Jen Psaki's answer. Did they give a video of this answer? I guess not. Jen Psaki's answer was, what we can assure the American public of is that he will choose and nominate someone who has impeccable credentials and is eminently qualified to serve as a Supreme Court justice, who is eminently qualified to serve in the lifetime appointments. She should have just stopped there. That's the only criteria that should be. And if he happens to choose a black woman who fits that criteria, fan-fucking-tastic, okay? More power to him. More power to her, literally. Then she said he did make a promise to the country. That's certainly how he sees it. Well, that was a dumb promise to make, but if it happens, I suppose he'll fulfill his promise. Still not. Now, a lot of people are making a big deal of the fact that Ronald Reagan in 1980 promised that he would nominate, or he said he would nominate the country's first woman to serve on the court, which he did, Sandra Day O'Connor. And that's what Jen Psaki brought up. She thinks this is a good argument. President Reagan promised the country he would nominate the country's first woman to serve on the court, and he did so. Former President Trump also promised to choose a woman, Amy Coney Barrett, just over a year ago. Well, he had already chosen 2 men. I don't know if that was important. He didn't have to promise that. Psaki would not say how many candidates are under consideration for their lifetime position or who at the White House is leading the effort to guide the nomination through the Senate. Because this isn't something Joe's just looking for himself. He's got a committee, and he's got the guys, those giant, when they make that's wooden thing, and you got to put another wooden thing here, and the strings hang down, and you connect them, and it's like, the marionette, the puppet masters. Yes, the puppet masters are coming up with someone. Now, what did I predict when I saw the list of people that they were promoting as far as possible nominees to be the first black woman to be on the Supreme Court? I made a point at the time that there's a judge from South Carolina, a black woman judge from South Carolina, who I think would be the lead person because of James Clyburn turning around Biden's campaign, right? So this article continues. Let's see. The 9-justice Supreme Court currently has 3 women, 6 men. 1 justice, Clarence Thomas, is black. And another, Sonia Sotomayor, is Hispanic. Wait a minute. Isn't Justice Kagan also Hispanic? I don't know. The court has never had an Asian American or a Native American member, a justice who publicly identifies as gay, lesbian, or transgender, or one who practices a religion other than Christianity or Judaism. Who cares? I'm not there for demographic parity. Okay, the only criteria to be on the Supreme Court, and the only thing you should look for, are judges who will follow the law as it is written, as how the legislators wrote it, and follow the Constitution in regards to those laws. As it is written, not how you want it to be. Now, what's going to be interesting about this, and I still believe this, that Joe... is that an irreverent way to refer to the President of the United States? Well, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, is going to nominate somebody that will eventually get confirmed, right? And then what'll happen is that person getting confirmed, I have this sneaky suspicion, I really do, even if he nominates someone who's going to be just a shill for sycophantic Democrat people, I got a feeling that when they get on the Supreme Court, they often change their stripes just a little bit. Now, he didn't get that. We haven't had that with Sotomayor. You didn't get that with Kagan so much. Although Kagan has had some surprising decisions. And actually all of them. There have been a lot of 9-0 decisions in the last year. So, you don't know who's leaning where on some of them. But in this article, Representative Jim Clyburn elicited Biden's vow to nominate a black woman to the high court as a condition of Clyburn's crucial endorsement ahead of South Carolina's 2020 presidential primary. The third-ranking House Democrat has openly campaigning for Biden to nominate South Carolina federal judge Michelle Childs, who's 55, to the post, citing her bipartisan appeal. I don't think she'd be terrible, even though she's a kind of a left-wingish judge. I think that's someone he can get confirmed. Third-ranking House, let's see. I can't think of a better person, or citing her bipartisan appeal. I can't think of a better person for the President Biden to consider for the Supreme Court than Michelle Childs. Senator Lindsey Graham, a member of the Judiciary Committee, told CBS Face the Nation Sunday. Psaki said Monday, we appreciate Senator Graham's thoughts. Wait a minute. Now, that's funny because Jim Clyburn, the ranking Democrat, or the third ranking Democrat in the House, and Lindsey Graham both like the idea of childs. But notice Psaki mentions, listen to Jen Psaki, who said Monday, we appreciate Senator Graham's thoughts, but added Biden is working hard to choose from a wealth of deeply qualified candidates who bring to bear the strongest records, credentials, and abilities that anyone could have for this role. Interesting. Is that a hint that they're not even necessarily considering Michelle Childs after Jim Clyburn saved his ass? Huh, interesting. Biden said last week that he plans to announce his pick at the end of February. He will meet Tuesday with Senator Chuck Grassley and Dick Durbin, the chairman and the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee, to discuss the process. Top contenders to replace Breyer include 51-year-old D.C. Appeals Court Judge Tanjani Brown, Tanjani Brown Jackson, a former Breyer clerk who was confirmed by the Senate 53-47 last year with 3 Republican votes. Another possibility is 47-year-old Georgia federal judge Leslie Abrams. We talked about these, sister of two-time Democratic gubernatorial candidates. That's Stacey Abrams' sister. And actually, she's for some reason, what case was she on? She's not terrible. But still, it's Stacey Abrams' sister. And then California Supreme Court Judge Leandra Kruger is also believed to be in contention. And Vice President Kamala Harris in this article has also been mentioned as a possible contender, but due to her background as a former California Attorney General in San Francisco, I want it to be Kamala Harris. For 2 reasons. One, I'd playing that Kelsey, what's her name, Tulsi Gabbard clip of that debate. I'd be playing that every day during the nomination process. In fact, I would have them play that during the nomination debate. It'd be hilarious, and also just to see who the hell. If he could get her confirmed, which I don't think he could, just to see the fight over appointing a new vice president too, because if for whatever reason the vice president leaves before the president has to nominate a new vice president. It just doesn't get to pick someone and say, hey, you're it. That has to go through a approval process too. So anytime you can get oh, and here's the other part. They have to, in this case, they have to get someone that they can get Republican votes on the Judiciary Committee, okay? Because the Judiciary Committee is split evenly. There is no tiebreaker vote in committee. And it has to get through the Judiciary Committee before it can go to the full Senate. So I don't know if you're not, this is going to be tough to get a radical through, except here's one thing that could happen. And I'm sure, what do you mean? Hold on. I say one thing that can happen. Here's what's going to happen. Everybody, every Republican is going to be scrutinizing the candidate very highly, right? There are people who don't, there will be Republicans who don't vote for the candidate. And you know what's going to happen to them? They're racist, sexist SOBs. Okay? They refused to vote for a black woman because they're racist.
That's racist!
And that's what it's going to be. So buckle up, man. This is going to be some shit, I'm telling you. Real quick, hi everybody again, and welcome to the show. Hey Gun Fox, I'm glad you're awake. Marty, it's only about oppression points. It's only about oppression points to have. Yeah, no, I know it is. Yeah, good time to be a black female pagan. You name it, I will identify as it. Just hire me. Well, that's the thing. The funniest thing I suppose he could do would be to nominate a black trans woman, because we already know that men even make better women than women do. I mean, look at that swimmer in the pen. Look at the maybe tell Bruce. Excuse me. What's her name? Jenner. What did she change? He changed name to Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner was Woman of the Year. We got women coming in first in sports. We got, former males who are women becoming first in sports events. I mean, bring it on. Look. I was very skeptical about allowing trans women to compete in sports against other women, because obviously the physical advantages. But really, honestly, I'm all for it. Bring it on. Let's see all those records broken. Come on. Let's get. You know what? I think that we should get retired NBA players and just have them become trans, be trans, and then we would have the most unstoppable Olympic basketball team ever. Could you imagine? Could you even at 50, how old's Michael Jordan? 55, 54, somewhere? He's somewhere around 50. Even at 55, I think he would make a great member of the U.S. women's basketball team. And some of these soccer, look, the United States women's soccer team still are appealing. By the way, did you hear about this? I don't know if you heard about this. I'm going on a tangent now. The United States women's soccer team, right? They had the lawsuit against the U.S. Olympic Committee, and then they lost the case, right? Because the judge said, well, y'all are already making more than the men. What are you talking about? You're making more on a per game basis, and you're made more overall. And you know what? It was complicated because they are appealing that decision, right? But in the time since they began appealing that decision, we had a COVID year where there was no soccer. There was no soccer played last year, right? And not only did they make more money per game and overall during the time period that they are suing for their equal pay suit, right? Not only did they make more money then, during this COVID year that they did not play at all, guess who made more? The United States women's soccer team. Do you know why? Because the United States women's soccer team had a guaranteed contract. So everyone on the roster for the United States women's soccer team got paid last year. Do you know how much the men's team made last year during the stupid 19 year? They made exactly $0. The women got paid, the men did not. I think the men should have an equal pay suit. Oh, wait, they signed the contract that they have. So, So anyway, now, in the meantime, okay, the appeal, in fact, I think the appeal arguments are coming next month. I think sometime in March, right? Here's what's going to happen. So the women are appealing the judge's ruling that basically dismissed their case, right? They're appealing the judge's ruling. They want to go to the appeals court and say they want to keep it going, right? Guess what? Was it last month? Oh, we're in February now. In December, the old contract that the women's national soccer team had was due to expire. And the U.S. Soccer Federation offered them the exact same contract as the men. Well, when they did that, the U.S. women's soccer team representatives said that it was just a publicity stunt, that they didn't, because what happens is the women's soccer team has guaranteed pay. They get health care, they get paternity leave, they get vacation, they get paid no matter what. And then they get paid bonuses for games they played. Whereas the men only get bonuses for playing games, only if they play in a game. So if you play in a game, you get paid. If you win, you get paid a little more, and then the tie, you get paid a little more, whatever, and the loss, you just get the flat fee. Whereas the women get a salary, they get their they're professional league salary subsidized. They get healthcare. They get all this stuff, right? Before they even play a game, and it's guaranteed whether they play or not. And then if they win games, they also get bonuses for playing games and ties and wins, but they're not as big as the men's because they're already getting about $130,000-$140,000 a year in pay and benefits. Well, United States Soccer offered them the exact same contract as the men. Well, okay, fine. Well, you wanted to have equal pay. Let's make it equal pay where everyone goes on a bonus-only system. The United States women's soccer team rejected that contract, and they renewed the exact same contract that they had before in the middle. In the middle of the time that they are appealing the ruling by the judge, complaining that they were not getting equal pay. Wow. So, so they renewed the contract that they were appealing that didn't pay them enough. I paid nothing to watch women's soccer, and it was still too much. The part that they just do not understand, and because if for perchance the men's team were as successful as the women's team, because a lot of people say, "Oh, why is this down here?" There, let's fix that. If the men's team were as successful as the women's team, they would definitely make a hell of a lot more money because the bonus in the World Cup structure for men is exponentially higher than it is for women. But there's a reason for that. Sports is an entertainment business, and basically people get paid based on the butts and seats and eyes on the game, right? So when the Women's World Cup cycle is played, it generates, last cycle I think it generated about $130 million, right? $130 million, that's pretty good, right? The Men's Cup cycle generates in excess of $6 billion, billion with a B, right? So 121 million versus $6 billion. There's going to be a little bit of discrepancy on what's available in the pool to pay players and what the women's national soccer team wants in their contract. They want the earning potential to be the same as the men's, even though the revenue generated from the game is not even remotely close to what the men's game generates. This would be like saying, okay, Meryl Streep. Let's take Meryl Streep, for example. Meryl Streep. She's getting an offer to work in a movie. Now, Meryl Streep, big box office draw, great actress, one of the greatest actresses of all times. Meryl Streep, they were going to offer to pay her $25 million to appear in a film, right? And then they said, well, Pete Davidson is going to also be in that film, but they're only offering him, $2 million to be in the film. And then Pete Davidson would say, you know what? This is sexist. This is racist, whatever race he might be. And we should have equal pay with Meryl Streep because we're both going to be acting in this same movie. Would Pete Davidson be laughed out of the courtroom? I'm kind of thinking he would, right? And that's from a movie that probably would they'd be in the same movie, it'd earn the same revenue, but they would still pay Meryl Streep $25 million to Pete Davidson's maybe $2 or $5, whatever they pay. I don't know what they pay actors for this shit, but would you ever think that and you look, I also laugh whenever we start. This is really changing what I'm talking about today. I always laugh because a lot of WNBA players complain about what they're making versus what say any player in the NBA makes. Right? The NBA generates billions, and in fact it has pretty much had a profit over a very long period of time, and the WNBA has while I think 3 franchises have actually finally made a profit out of I think there's either 8 or 10 now. I don't even know how many franchises there are in the WNBA, but the league as a whole has still never made money without the subsidy from the NBA. And yet some of the WNBA players are really mad about that. I could, someone, Sue Bird, for example, could be a 6-time All-Star and a champion or whatever, and still doesn't make what the lowest paid NBA player is. Now, there's this argument that they are playing the same game, right? So the women's soccer team and the men's soccer team are playing the same game. I don't know if it's a good example because the women's soccer team makes more than the men already, but the idea that they are playing the same game, whether it be soccer or WNBA or whatever professional sports league, well, let's put that. I really want to put that to the test, right? I really, really, really want to put that to the test. If they're playing the same game, why don't they just play on the other team? Why doesn't the woman let's say Sue Bird, for example, she's a perennial all-star. She's a great basketball player for the WNBA. But if you're playing the same game, well, why don't you play in the other league then? If it's the same game, because you got to remember how many people watch the NBA, and then how many people actually watch the WNBA. WNBA is starting to play in smaller arenas because they can't get fans to come to the games. And it's not, look, I don't mean to be disparaging to WNBA. I'm a big basketball fan, and I actually enjoy. Now, you're going to be shocked, but I actually enjoy watching WNBA games occasionally. Okay, and I'm home where I live. Was a 4-time WNBA champion. The Minnesota Lynx won the WNBA title 4 years. So, we kind of have, we're proud of the WNBA champion Minnesota Lynx. They not recently, but here's the thing. While I enjoy watching those games, it's not the same game by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, because you could take you can take the 10, 12, 15 best players from the WNBA, and I don't think you could find a team that could beat a single state champion high school basketball team in the United States, because it's not the same game. It's a slower paced game with not as high skill levels. Now they're the best women basketball players in the world. They're great at what they do, playing against other women. But like I said, they would not be able to beat a high school boys team. At least not a good high school boys team. They might be able to beat some high school boys team. I wouldn't be shocked if you took, an all-star team from the WNBA, but they wouldn't be able. I don't think they could be the state champion of any state. So anyway, that's my sports ball talk. All right, let's see what else. I really went on a tangent there, didn't I? Why is there 9? Is there 9? Oh, this is just people responding to my tweet. Oh, someone's mad at me because I see Jeff's. Oh, people are. Some people are a little mad that I asked Jeff how often did you listen to Rogan. Okay. Now, he went off. The deadly misinformation. Okay, well, I'll get into that conversation later. Anyway, what else is important what else is important on Twitter today? People celebrating the Lunar New Year. Excited about that. Winter storm warning. Oh no, another snowmageddon. Well, let's see. Where's the snow? This time it's for from the Rockies to northern New England. Major snow. If you're in those areas, be careful. Let's see. Let's go to. I'm gonna go to trends though. Let's go see what's trending. We'll go down Twitter trends, then we'll get out of here because I don't have as much stuff today. Let's see. Go in here, click here, and see what's trending. We're not going to go through all of them because usually there's some stupid trends. I'll just skip the ones that are not important. Black History Month, okay. Tom Brady formally announces his retirement from the NFL after 22 seasons. Golden Corral. Apparently there was a big old fight at a Golden Corral, and this is in Philadelphia. If you're from Philly, this is the place to show. Let's see. Massive brawl breaks out in Ben Salem Golden Corral over alleged steak shortage. They were mad about the steak shortage at Golden Corral. Friday night turned out to be a melee at Ben Salem at a Golden Corral restaurant. Now police are trying to figure out how it started. A former employee of the restaurant says he was told the fight may have happened after a customer became enraged when the buffet ran out of steak. Video shared by Eyewitness News shows punches being thrown and chairs flying as a fight breaks out inside the Golden Corral in Bentham that evening. They confirmed the brawl was more than 40 people. Do they have videos of this? Oh shit, they're throwing chairs and shit. Look at that. Okay, I'm not gonna play it. But yeah, oh my, what the hell? The whole restaurant's going nuts. Is this just because they ran out of steak? Philadelphia, nothing new. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, that's crazy. Oh, tall person, thank you so much with the what I don't even remember who's on the 10. I don't know who's on the 10. Alex, is that a Hamilton? I don't even know. Anyway, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. And tall person, you are
the new Streamland Superstar sponsor of the day.
He says, "Happy GI Joe Day, go Joe." All right, well there you go. That's a good thing. Go Joe. So anyway, the big fight in the Philadelphia Golden Corral. It's trending number 2 on Twitter, so everyone is into this fight. Holy shit, that's crazy. Let's see here. All right, so let's see. Wait, what happened to trending? There we go. So Golden Corral, trending number 3. Happy Lunar New Year. It's the Lunar New Year. Happy New Year to those who celebrate that. I know in China and other places. TB12, that's for Tom Brady. Breaking news. Here's one. HBCUs are trending, and it's because of some breaking news on CNN. At least 7 historically black colleges and universities reported bomb threats Tuesday. At least one of them, Howard University, also received a bomb threat Monday. Tuesday, that's today. Let's go to the CNN article. I'm wondering if they're going to find out. Everything's about timing. And every time I see one of these, my concern is this a hoax? You know, and it's sad that that's the first thing I think of whenever I see something like this. But I wonder. A growing number of historically black colleges and universities have had to lock down or postpone classes due to bomb threats on the first day of Black History Month. You know what's also fascinating about this? In the chat, I want to see how many historically black colleges and universities can you name? I can think of like 3 or 4 off the top of my head, and that's really it. And mostly because of their sports teams, right? How is it that this happens on Black History Month? Okay, so let's read this. At least 13 HBCUs reported bomb threats Tuesday. At least one of them, Howard University, also received a bomb threat on Monday. These are some of the universities that have reported bomb threats as of Tuesday. Well, is there a list? They had a list, but they seem to have moved it. Someone called the Baltimore University. Coppin State. Okay, this is what Coppin State. I didn't know Coppin State was HBCU. I know the school, but I did not know it was an HBCU. Someone called the Baltimore University and said there was a bomb on campus. Coppin State spokesperson Angela Galliano told CNN. Now look, this is amazing. They called the bomb threat. I wonder what you can do with phone calls. I bet you can trace phone calls and figure out who did them. The threat was immediately reported to campus police. The message on the university's website said all classes would be online Tuesday. If you are on campus, please shelter in place and wait for further instructions. The message said emergency officials are evaluating the campus and we will provide updates. Mississippi Valley State University. I knew that was an HBCU. The university said a bomb threat was received through its guardhouse early Tuesday morning. MVSU is currently on lockdown and campus police are conducting. Okay. You know what? We'll figure this out in a minute. School officials are working with local emergency personnel. Alcorn State. I knew that was at HBCU. The University of Lowlands received an anonymous bomb threat. Alcorn State posted on its website. We are advising all students shelter in place. Tougaloo College, never heard of it, in Tougaloo, Mississippi, received a bomb threat. Doesn't say how. Due to today's bomb threat, we'll operate virtually. Morgan State University, definitely heard of that one. Morgan State University is a historically black research university in Baltimore due to a bomb threat on campus. It doesn't say how it was received. Jackson State, that's where Deion Sanders is the coach in football there. Jackson State University received a bomb threat at 4:15 a.m. They swept the campus, found the threat unsubstantiated. Kentucky State University, due to a bomb threat this morning. Fort Valley State received a notice of a bomb threat. Howard University responded to a bomb threat for the second day in a row. Metropolitan Police and the Howard University Department of Police have issued it all clear. Xavier in New Orleans. That's not Xavier in Ohio. The University of New Orleans is working with authorities after receiving a bomb threat. University of District Columbia, 3 a.m. Spelman College in Atlanta says it received one. Edward Waters University, never heard that. Oh, here it is. Effective immediately, all personal activities, classes, and operations, including all meetings and athletic practices, are canceled until further notice. The University in Jacksonville, Florida, tweeted Tuesday morning. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has been notified and is on campus investigating this matter. Please stay tuned to the EWU's website. Okay, so that's that's some of the ones. I am going to guess that this is one of those things that people had the same idea on the same day, or somebody did all of them. I don't know. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show on Streamlabs, who says, feminists say they want to be paid like the men because they're independent and don't need no man. Why ain't the men watching our whack-ass games that junior high boys can beat us?
That's right.
Plus, men need to pay us more in child support and alimony. That's right.
That's right.
So, yes, thank you. Thank you again, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show. Boy, is Tuskegee one? Tuskegee is. My mother went to an HBCU. She got her she got her undergrad at Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. At least the Lewis Latimer School of Engineering didn't get one. Phew. Yeah, you know. I gotta tell you, it reeks of campus hoaxes. And notice they got them in different ways too. So that makes me think that some of the, I would say a majority of these are hoaxes. Now, because have we had one of these in the last few years? And the economy's bad and all the lockdowns, and it just seems like we've had this long period of nothing like this, right? Have you heard of any of these lately? I think someone's trying to get attention again, and apparently it's just weird. Some got by a call. Some guy was notified at the guard shack. The others don't say how they were notified of this. But yeah, I hate to be in the X to doubt mode, but I'm in X to doubt mode. Sorry, just am. All right, we'll move that out. Let's see. All right, back to. By the way, all the articles I did open will be on the in the tab down in the link down below. But it's just every time I hear about one of these, the first thing I think is this real, or is it a hoax? It's a hoax. Oh, Alec Baldwin's in the news. Thank you. Oh, real quick, thanks Ty Alexander for sponsoring the show today. Oh, let me do this in the proper mode. Hey, let me put some music behind this one too. Hang on. Let me see if I can get. Well, we do play reggae on Tuesdays, so let's use a reggae background music. As soon as I get this out over here, reggae. We're gonna go instrumental. All right, and let's see, what kind of an ad is this? Oh, this is a kind of a happy-go-lucky one because we're talking about a game. There's a new game. Oh, did you hear about the new game, by the way? That it's in the sponsorship here. Let me get this out of here. Let's go Happy and Restless. Today's sponsor is Milton Bradley. Milton Bradley has a new game called Where in the World is Trudeau? Play as a Mountie, a citizen, a trucker, or a hobo. Use video clues, sound files, and written notes to find out where he is. Can you find him? Where in the World is Trudeau? By Milton Bradley. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Tyler. Excuse me, thank you, Tyler. That's awesome. All right, let's see. One last thing. Oh, shoot, it's gone. Japanese here. So, this is the weirdest one, and we'll finish with this one. Japanese pharmaceutical companies. This is one of those ones that Reuters put out a story this morning, and then they changed the story because they didn't like how it was being shared by people. So apparently a Japanese pharmaceutical company did some research. And they said this morning that it was like a third phase trial that says, shoot, I can't say this word. The drug that some people call horse paste, but the human use version, I'll just say, Invocation. We'll call it Invocation today. Invocation sounds similar to the way this drug is called. Well, Invocation showed antiviral effects against the stupid 19 in a test tube. They added that in a test tube thing. Kowa, a Japanese pharmaceutical company, said on Monday that Invocation demonstrated an antiviral effect against Megatron and other stupid 19 variants in a non-clinical study. Reuters reports Invocation, which is a medication used to fight parasites, is not a recommended treatment for stupid 19 in Japan, and health authorities, including the World Health Organization, have advised against individuals taking the drug. The study was non-clinical, meaning that it was not performed on humans, so COA will require the support of clinical studies in order to move forward and potentially obtain acknowledgement for the drug as treatment for stupid 19. Now, the studies on this before have been a mixed bag. Some studies say that it's effective, some studies say it doesn't. So, and plus, this is the drug against the narrative because, you know, certain people like Joe Rogan might talk about it on their show, and so it's not approved by anybody. And so there's the other threads on this tab on Twitter are people telling you that that this is bad. This is really bad. In fact, this dude named Aaron Kovler or somebody says, here's what happened. Well, here. Oh, wait. So Reuters he says Reuters really screwed up just now, wrongly reporting that a phase 3 clinical trial, and this guy's a writer and political analyst. It doesn't say for what, though. Anyway, they screwed up. They wrongly reporting that a phase 3 clinical trial showed invocation was effective against Omicron. Now, again, the studies have been very mixed, so you don't know whether it's effective or not. And plus, here's the thing. Because I was saying about this a long time ago when they were talking about that hydroxycut stuff, right? Remember that? I don't know if these are effective at helping people. They might be, and they very well could be. But the thing is, most people recover from the stupid 19 anyway. So it's hard to tell. When their percentages are at 0. whatever percent, right? 0.01%. People dying and hospitalization stuff of people who get this. It's really hard to say. Well, okay, you improve their chances by 30% or 50%. It doesn't. Basically, it's not changing their whatever. The one thing that they did do were the monoclonal antibodies for certain variants that worked very well. They're claiming that they don't work for other variants, but whatever. They know that for a fact that those help people. And these may well have helped people too, but obviously you don't want to have a drug that's readily available and cheap because it doesn't let the pharmaceutical companies, put out more expensive new drugs that they can get patents on and also have no liability with, right? So, but in any case, this guy said that they screwed up by saying and then they said correcting the story later, but the damage was already done. It was already. What happened? Well, a Japanese pharma company is conducting a phase 3 human trial of invocation as a stupid 19 treatment. We've known that for months. And today, Koa published a press release claiming that invocation has an antiviral effect against Omicron. Well, what does that mean? It has an antiviral. We already know that it has an antiviral effect against some types of coronavirus because there have been studies on this before this particular coronavirus. In fact, and then also, the other stuff, the hydroxycut, right? Remember the hydroxycut? Dr. Anthony Fauci himself did a study on it and wrote a paper about how hydroxycut helped against SARS-1. The SARS, remember the SARS way back when? So we know that already. Anyway, so now they use the term has an antiviral effect against Omicron. Now they're saying that this is only in a test tube, which, okay, fine. But they said they're doing phase 3 human trials, but whatever. So this guy continues. The thing is, we already knew that invocation shows antiviral properties against the SARS stupid 19 too, right? In a test tube. We've known that for months. That's why people initially thought that it might be a treatment for stupid 19 until trials showed it didn't help. Now, some trials showed it didn't help. Some trials said it did help. Like I said, it's been very mixed. And in some countries, they are still suggesting using this. Some countries, they're not. Most, and particularly not in the United States because that would be a cheap drug that's already very common. But whatever, I don't care if they promote this or not, if they can figure out whether or not it works or not. I mean, there's doctors that swear by it. Again, because you remember, you're not allowed to have second opinions, even if you are a doctor or a scientist or whatever. Second opinions are not allowed right now. That you get banned on places for having a second opinion, even though they're medically trained doctors and immunologists and scientists who invent, vacation technologies and whatnot. If you are not on the page with the people who are saying one thing, it used to be that you could always get a second opinion from a doctor and maybe some ideas. And because I thought science was when you have a second opinion. Well, let's try out these second opinions. Let's try out some of these things. And they're like, no, we can't have a second opinion for this. For some reason, we can't have a second opinion for this. I'll get to the next two commercials here. So anyway, this guy continues. Lots of stuff has antiviral effects in a test tube, but doesn't help fight viral disease in humans. So while it was disappointing that the invocation doesn't help with stupid 19, it wasn't very surprising. Well, then why are they doing a third trial? Why are they doing a phase 3 human trial? Is there a reason they might be doing that? I don't know. I mean, and it may turn out it's not effective, but I'm still not sure what the hell he's talking about here. The COA press release today, basically, you know how invocation has an antiviral effect on COVID in a test tube? That still works for Omicron, which, again, isn't surprising. The reverse would have been a much bigger surprise. But COA devoted much of the press release to the still ongoing phase 3 human trial they are doing, so a careless reader can confuse what they were claiming, like Reuters did. I'm blaming Reuters more than COA because companies are always trying to obfuscate and oversimplify in press releases. Trust me, I write them sometimes. So this guy is basically the thread that Twitter decided that they would use for this, telling you that you should never listen to anybody but the narrative that's out there, and you know it is what it is. And then, but they did have someone down here bitching about, and well, the Blaze got it right. They said it has an antiviral effect against Omicron, according to the Japanese company. Other people are saying this. This is garnering attention and is interesting, but the giant caveat that this is a non-clinical trial, i.e. not involving human patients. COA, which is a small but legit Japanese pharma company, says it's still evaluating the efficacy on humans. And there was one down here, I laughed because they for some reason here we go. There's PolitiFact. PolitiFact to the rescue of the narrative. No, Japan has not stopped its use of Moderna vaccine in favor of invocation to treat COVID-19. Now, I'm curious who said that was the case. I got an X to doubt that there's a whole bevy of people saying that too. So anyway, there was a woman down here saying that there was a picture of Donald Trump in one of these threads, but and they mentioned the word bleach, and then I stopped reading the thread. So that's fascinating. All right, let's finish up with our last two commercials today because I need to get out of here. First, thank you. BBC Rentals, a longtime sponsor of the show and a friend of the show. I think that our friend, I'm pretty sure our friend Gunfox has something to do with BBC Rentals. Let's see. All right, here. Thank you for the deuce and sponsoring the show. And let's see here. Let's find some appropriate music. Let's try this one. In support of the honkies up north, we at BBC Rentals would like to take care of the home front. We at BBC Rentals will keep your spouse satisfied while you're on the road fighting for our freedom to remain pure blood. BBC Rentals, unless you're racist.
That's racist!
Thank you to our sponsor, BBC Rentals. We greatly appreciate you. And then we also, there's another game company sponsoring the show. Game companies really like this show. And this one is, thank you, Ty Alexander, for bringing this one to my attention. Another sponsor is Parker Brothers. Parker Brothers' new game is Sweeping the Nation. Guess who's running the WHO? Ask questions, use context clues to figure out who's running the WHO. Guess who's running the WHO is mandatory fun for all ages. Yes, thank you, Parker Brothers, BBC Rentals, and Milton Bradley for sponsoring the show today. These great game companies of all time. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Jack Murphy's sponsorship. Okay. And Data Wasteland, good morning. And People's Front, good morning. Aaron Meredith, good morning. I gotta go. That's all. Like I said, I wasn't all that prepared today. I apologize for being less than stellar as far as the preparation, but we did get some fun articles to read from the Twitter machine. I think we'll do Twitter Tuesdays so I don't muck up your whole week with Twitter articles. Tomorrow we'll be back we might do a Woke Wednesday tomorrow. 27 people here. Hit the like button. There's only 13 likes. Before you go, don't do anything but click that little thumbs up thing. Good Lord. Nice to have a few people in the chat today. All right. that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I do got to go. Before you go, though, like I said, hit the like button. That's, one of those things. And then you can sponsor, ways to help the show. You can share the stream anytime, 24/7, day or night, before, during, or after the stream. Also, if you're watching the show on replay, put a comment in the comment section. Say hi, and I will give you one of those little heart things. And, sometimes, depending on what you say, I'll give you a hi or whatever, or add some spice to the conversation. You just never know. And then also, if you want to sponsor the show, like, let's see, Thomas Cleaver, Tall Person, Blackkeeper, Israelite, Ty Alexander's, Gunfox 61, and Duck. No, that was yesterday. And Ty Alexander, you can do that through Streamlabs, which is at PDawgKnight.live in the upper right-hand corner, or you can do SuperChats and or whatever those. It's down in the description. You can read it down there. I'm done with that. Anyway, it is time for me to go. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 Eastern, and we'll see you then. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.